Yes, guys, welcome from me, Championship Manager 0102. I'm firing videos out like they're going out of fucking fashion. We are now going to turn our attentions to the three-man game with myself, Pep, and Ian. We've fired out a little bit. We've fired out quite a lot. So it's hard to know where to start because I can't quite remember where I fucking finished. But we have now launched the new season. We had a couple of technical issues, my end and Pep's end, which shortened a few of our sessions of late. But I'm trying to remember where my last session, my last update was. I think it was just before the Euros, weren't it? The Euros 21:48, if I remember rightly. So I did do an update on that, but I did it as a written update. So let's go straight. Let's start then with the league so far. Then you can see we are well into season 134. Is that enough? Oh, sorry, 135. I had to just work that out. Season 135. Yeah. Yeah, 21:48. So we've just concluded the Euros 21:48. The start of the season, we haven't gone far into it, but this is where we are at. Now, it's been a really, really bizarre opening few games because for me, the Charity Shield finished that. I don't know what happened to Ian in this game. I mean, he said, did he move his goalkeeper out by accident? Which, a little bit of a kick in the teeth when someone says, I don't know if I moved my goalie out by accident, because it's almost like taking away my glory. But who knows? We'll never probably know because we can't go back to it now, but nevertheless. And then, of course, my opening league game, away to Fulham, but they did have their goalie sent off and their reserve goalie. Now, the worst thing, right, and this happens to me all the time, it happened to Ian as well, is when you say, right, we'll save after this next game, and I say we saved after me dropping points, and it's fucking so frustrating. So we've won the Intercontinental, we won the Super Cup, because of course you may recall we won the Champions League, and we are in control in the Champions League so far this season. So that's where I've dropped my points. Let's go to Pep. Pep looks good. He looks good, don't he? But it's a story of our lives, isn't it, for Pep? Because he always starts so well. And you've probably already seen there sorry, let me just start that again. You've probably already seen, a bit of a spoiler alert, the last game before the save, he beat Ian's Manchester United 2-0. Which for Pep is an absolute great result. There was a big boom from Pep, I'm sure, when he won that. Now for Ian, as well as losing to Pep, he's lost to Charity Shield, he lost to West Bromwich Albion, which was quite sensational. Red card clearly did not help. So a little bit of a horrid time for Ian, indeed. But Ian has started well in the Champions League himself and forgot to go to Pep's Champions League, albeit with a draw. And Pep will easily go through. So that is that, you know. In terms of the signings, now, you may recall something. Remind yourself now that this is Tapani 2.19. This is the October 2013 update. So there's a lot of flaws in this, you know, that weren't rectified until the later updates and the later patches. One of the flaws, right, was when a player is moving on a Bosman. It says he's gonna move on a Bosman, but the date is already gone, and the player ends up becoming. I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example. So we'll take this guy here, yeah. So you can see, 80 years old, and basically he was leaving Nuneaton on the 6th of the 6th, 03, 35 years. 45 years ago. But he was still at Nuneaton, so he was on so he just stays there. It's a bug in the game. That's happened a few times, as you can see. That's happened a few times over here. So let's take, for example, Mateus Nunes. So he's leaving Notts County 7 years ago. So he's stuck at Notts County. I think eventually they go when they reach 85, something like that. Now, this is a shit thing, right? Remember this guy? The Colombian goal machine? Yeah, he went on a Bosman to Milan. but I didn't pay attention to what contract he took. So he's leaving Milan on the 13th of the 6th, 48, which of course has already gone, which may well mean, right, he is stuck at Milan for 40 seasons, which of course in turn means we're not going to get a regen of this fucking Colombian goal machine. You know, there is a way around it, if I'm honest with you, if, you know, and that is for one of us to buy him. You know, one of us could quite easily buy him. In fact, he's not even interested. Can you believe that? One of us... Let me just check that again. What? Yeah, I don't know if he would take terms. But one of us could buy him and then release him so he can retire gracefully, almost. He's still playing for Colombia. So my worry is we're not going to have no Colombian regen striker for 40 years, which is a bit of a fucking worry. It is a bit of a worry. So that's that. Just thought I'd give a little down. So for me then, my signings this well, we did a few deals actually. We brought in a couple of youngsters from Pep. We've done a lot of deals actually. Let me just see now then. We brought in that guy from Chelsea. Very, very happy with that. Youngster from Pep. Bit surprised that he was offloading him. We've got this guy who we've since sent out on loan. South Korean, he's going to fight. Tom Kranz from Man City, from Southampton. Again, Pep offloaded a couple of youngsters. I was happy to take. Brought a couple of goalkeepers in, as you can see. Now, the marquee signing for me was definitely this Rafa Varane regen. I was quite surprised that Pep was... and Pep was actually happy to sell him to me for straight cash, but we couldn't get a deal over the line. But we did eventually get a deal over the line, which involved a few players leaving for Pep. We'll come to those players in a moment. These are the rest of our players. And he was my most recent player that I purchased. And the players that went to Pep on the 3rd was Garcia. Bit surprised, to be honest with you. Really surprised with some of Pep's signings, some of Pep's decisions. You know, I think there might be a reason behind it. Maybe there is probably a method that he's using. Let's have a look at Ian then. Sam Gerrard. Hang on, we're on players out, aren't we? So Tom Kern. He brought Tom Kern from Man United, from Pep. Good player, certainly a good player. 55 million a part X. Again, do you know what? I didn't even spot this, right? I've got to be honest here, right? 31 assists, 21 goals, and he sold him. Now, I don't get it. I cannot comprehend that. No wonder Ian was fucking rubbing his hands. 31 assists, Pep. Look at him. I mean, I'm guessing that is Ozil regen. That is ridiculous. Jesus, Pep, you need shooting. Ian, I've said this before, Ian has a tendency to really locate a real good gem ahead of all of us, and that is one of them. I mean, you know, you've got to give him credit. That is an absolute monster right back. So we'll see how he flares up. I have to keep an eye on him, indeed. Great Slovenian goalkeeper there. I think we all know who he is. This guy here, Antonio Cardenas, Pep was selling him, and he chose Ian ahead of me. Again, you know, 18 assists last season, and he's still young. I mean, he was my player at Chelsea when I was Chelsea manager. Why, Pep? Why? But you know what? You're the manager, Pep. Mark Gerster. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, he was familiar. So, ex-Man United. Dennis, not bad. Not bad, looks good. And Frederici. Now, this guy here, Matteo Frederici, we've all been chasing him for so long. It kept getting cancelled, and eventually Ian has landed him. Now, interestingly, he only got him 5 days ago, as you can see by the date there. Now, interestingly, it already says unknown on future. That's an interesting one. Watch this space. Ian, yeah, he hasn't sold anybody. I mean, he sold a player to Barcelona for 100 million. Hendricks, I think that's Van Persie. Ian don't do any reckless sales, to be fair. He's very, very good in that sense, unless he's going to benefit from it. A few players obviously went to Pep as part of some exchange deals. I don't know unless Pep. I mean, I can't say much, can I? Because the bottom line is Pep started well and he beat him 2-0. So I suppose, you could say to me, what do I fucking know? Because he's done some what I think suspect sales, but give it, I suppose I should shut my mouth really, shouldn't I? So Pep's signing so far this season, nothing of interest this calendar year anyway. So Garcia, he's guy got off me, of course, on the exchange. Cruz, not bad at all. Goni, he's my ex-player, I'm sure. Yeah, he is my ex-player, and I think he caused me a few issues. So I do hope he has a better run with you, Pep, than he did with me. Let's see if and who else did he buy when the window opened? So we've seen these guys, haven't we? Castro, not bad. We saw Casanova, didn't we? Oh, he sold. He bought Casanova. Oh, I see. That's what confused me. He brought Driss Casanova, and he sold him. But buying him as a make weight is a bit of an interesting one. He beat me to that goalkeeper, or I think I'd already got my goalkeepers, and he put the Bulgarian centre half off me. So yeah, definitely if you suspect sales from Pep, £120 million there. It's no secret Pep does sell to his rivals, as in me and Ian. But you know what? Pep is the boss. Now you've probably already worked out, right, that I am back on the international theme. Scene, shall I say? And you've probably worked out who I am as well. So I have taken over Holland. Holland come vacant. We have had managerial changes all over the shop. Ian has departed England after losing in the quarter-finals to the eventual winners. He was Germany. Let me start that again. Fucking hell, what a dick. Ian is now England. After losing in the quarter-finals with Germany, he then moved to England, who lost the Euros, the final. Wait for it. Sweden, and give Pep a round of applause here, because Pep did really, really well. He knocked out Germany in the quarters 3-0, and he beat England in the final 1-0. Now, the most remarkable thing of that, right, is the Euros, England have won it for the last 3 occasions. So I often said, you may recall, one of my biggest achievements on the international scene was me getting to the Euro final. Where was it now? Where was it? I got to the Euro, there it is, in 2096, where I knocked out Ian's England along the way, and that's been my biggest achievement. But that surpasses it. Pep did an absolute remarkable job with Sweden. So England sacked their manager. Ian left Germany, took over England. I went for Holland. I got it. So I am returned to the international scene. I returned to the international scene where we've got the World Cup qualification. And I think if it weren't for it being a World Cup, I wouldn't have bothered. But, that is where we're at. So you'd fancy me to go through. There's no doubt about that. Sweden, surprisingly, didn't even realise that, they lost at home to Belarus. You'd fancy Sweden to do that regardless. And then you've got England, who of course are not in World Cup qualification. And I'm now going to work out as to why. It's because they won the World Cup. Okay. So they won the World Cup. So they were, Euro champions 3 times in a row, World Cup champions. So Ian has just got friendlies. All being well, the 2150 World Cup, we will all be there. All being well. So, somebody asked me about... Where are we? About awards. Now, it's about previous awards. I think they asked it about my game on game with Matt, and somebody else asked it about the 3-man game. The awards, you can't click on the players if they've already retired, you see, which can be pretty fucking shit, to be honest with you. It's a shame, really, because they are all obviously regens. I mean, that Mikado, that was That was an Aguero regen, and of course his next regen has arrived already. But you can even go back. This is what I do like about it. We all remember Luis Fabinho. None of these people are going to be in the game, not even as a manager, because they'll all be dead. Simple as that. Let's see, is anybody in the games? Anybody? That's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. No one is alive. No one is alive. Oh, here we go. Right. So, if there's anything specific you want to see, guys, let me know, and I'll look into it more in depth. I'm not going to go through it now. This was just a hit on it, and also to remind myself where I actually find those awards. Just bear with me a minute, guys. Just got to pick up a text. Okay. Right. So what else is there to say about this? It's going to be a long season. Now, last season, I had a good record against my biggest rivals, Pep and Ian. So I'm not changing my tactics at all. It's a bit of an obscure tactic. It is quite rare indeed. But my left winger, I mean, my players have started so well. My striker, Frolich, not sure who he's a regen of, but I originally had Ruben Gimenez as my main striker last season, and you can see why. But as you can see, let's just go back to, was it the Charity Shield? It was a Charity Shield where he came on. I took off Jimenez after 71 minutes, and he came on and scored 5 goals. I mean, what the fuck? The problem is, right, when we had this game, we had a few, like I said, technical issues. The speed was a little bit up and down, but that was just ridiculous. 5 goals in 12 minutes. Absolutely ridiculous. Vitor, the Ronaldo regen, of course. Another surprise sale from Pep to me a few seasons ago. It's bizarre. I think we're in for another exciting season. I think there's no doubt about that. Season 135, and somebody asked me a question again, right? And fucking hell, yeah. Am I talking to fucking dickheads or what? Why are you not using the update? Right, so just to reiterate something, we started this game a couple of months shy of 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, December 2013, the current update was the autumn 2013 update. It was the update. The current patch at the time was Tapani 2.19. Since then, we've obviously had multiple updates, multiple patches. Tapani has been and gone. Saturn has been and gone. Nick is the new sheriff in town. But obviously, I'm not going to alter the patches or the update. I'm certainly not going to. You can't alter the update. I'm not going to alter any patches because that's not. It will just corrupt the game. No doubt about that. So this is what's made the game so successful. And to give you a really quick recap, back in season, I want to say late 60s, I think I had a computer fucking virus hit, and I lost everything. Everything was lost. Every file on my computer, laptop should I say, became a Windows batch file. It was an infected worm of some kind, and the game was dead, and I mean dead. And I think I want to say it was about season 71, 72. However, luckily, and I repeat, luckily, I had sent the end of season 67 to Jeffrey Ray on the forums. He was going to do a video on it, and he never did that video, but he still had the save. So we went back. We either had to start again and throw 72 seasons work away, or sacrifice 5 seasons. So whilst I'm saying we're in season 135, technically speaking, we actually achieved another 5 seasons because we had to do 67 to 72 again. You know. So that is that really. And a really, really quick show. Someone that is still flying high is Messi regen, and he's starting to come good now for Pep. He really is starting to come good. And he could be the difference. He could really be the difference. Memic. I mean, if Pep's playing, he's playing him behind Koune. Now, Koune, of course, prolific striker. A little bit injury prone, though. I think Pep's got to be careful of that. Could this be Pep's year? I'm going to try and be optimistic with Pep, because I feel that I've bastardised him a little bit, you know, with his sales, and I guess in a way I've got no right to be a bit of a bastard, particularly when I benefit from it. But do you know what? Fuck you. This is my channel. I'll say what I fucking want. Now that's it then, guys. That is the 3-man game update. Hopefully the next update will be the conclusion of season 135. It's been emotional. Till next time from me, guys. Take it easy.